Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one, I only had to do the intro 4 times, but we're ready to go. SHYVANA jungle. You know what? In Twitch chat they said, do champions, and they just listed every champion in the game for a gameplay. And then someone said SHYVANA, and I realized I have not done SHYVANA since July 2021. And I said that's a travesty. She is up for a rework, so you know we might not get too many more of these. Figured let's have a look at the one and only Agurin on EU West using the champion. Now there is a meme in high elo jungling that this champion is probably one of the most broken in the game, but only he knows how to play her. Because you see it on anyone else and it fizzles out, or like a dragon without wings, basically. So what? I don't know, worm. Cool. We're starting on the blue side here. This game will have a lot more of the camp sequencing optimization technique and sophistication that you require in order to succeed as a farming jungler. We've had a tank jungler, we've had assassin junglers, we've had snowballing junglers, we've had pretty much everything in the past few weeks. This will be another added wrinkle. Now, Evelyn is also struggling. Nocturne just is going to be getting some buffs very soon as well. So this should be very interesting to see how we play and how we carry, because obviously everyone's still climbing, and it's really good to see. Wait a second. It's very good to see, obviously, Istad, how Challenger 1k LP, semi-pro, pro junglers, and so on face against lower ranked players at the start of the season. Runes you would have seen on your screen, absolutely standard. I don't need to talk about that. And the reason why it's so good is purely because you see how easily they exploit the mistakes of even someone that's like 250 LP. Like, they will be just destroyed through little errors. Every time there's a small mistake, punished. Every time you make the wrong decision that could have won you if you didn't make it, you could have won the game, punished. And they do it so easily. And it's a very good way to play because you have to look at yourself in the mirror, right? You are a gold 3 Joe, you are a diamond 2 homie, you're a platinum 4 scum. You look in the mirror and you think, my teammates hold me down. No, if you were good, okay, and you were truly that much better than those junglers, you'd be punishing them the same way that these guys punish the enemy junglers in the start of the season when they're so much better ranked. And that's the kind of the metric you gotta look at. If you're perma-smurfing against enemy junglers and you're losing games, then it's not because you're bad at jungling, it's because you're bad at macro and team fighting. So look at it that way, but the point being is when you're playing against worse players, if you believe truly that you are better than the rank you are, then you should be able to decimate them righteously and with gusto, okay? So, obviously, full clear. Is anyone surprised? Nobody's surprised. Full clear, standard stuff. Get level 4. Use that item, use that spike. If the enemy jungler starts on the top side, sequence is up, you can prime yourself for a counter gank here. The set does the work. Big man beats E-boy. Very cool. If he's pushing here and your enemy jungler starts bottom and sequencing up, look for the counter gank, especially if they're like a Viego looking for a 5 camp, you have the level 4 to level 3. Lulu says, I hate my bot lane, I follow you. Okay, I guess, suppose, might as well. If, in the case, you know they start a top side or they got leashless, and you go check this top crab and you see them, we can yeet that crab. Very successful, good life, great success, happy, Borat is also happy. And now you have 2 choices. Do I reset and go control my tier 2 Grump, or do I abuse the fact that the Kayn flashed, died, and now TP'd to lane? Just because you're farming jungler does not mean you cannot do the good work. Obviously, it's Kayn, so we're going to keep trying here. At the very least, this is excellent. This is where you struggle with SHYVANA, but this is brilliant. The Kayn is now absolutely doomed. Look, look, look. We just chill. Look at this. We just absolutely chill. There you go. See? Nice fat wave. We're going to last hit it. We're just going to last hit it. Beautiful. And that's all Agurin. That's all a good jungler punishing that. Now, at the same time, Talon has obviously rotated back up because degenerate champion. He died anyway. Great stuff. Now we reset and we take our Grump. So Talon obviously in these situations is the champion that could either have taken your Grump or gone across the map and you might not have even seen it. You know, because parkour. So he's just left top lane. Back on down, we see he has not spent anything, so that's obviously most important for us. We get our tier 2 Grump, which is the thing we really need. Something that Agurin has done in the past for optimization of sequencing is if you start on the red, Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, don't do blue first, do Grump first, then do blue. Not only do you get a bit of resource back, it means that when you do reset after the same things, the Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, and Grump will spawn in a beautiful sequence that celebrates anyone with an OCD about that, like myself. So I like that. When it's all lined up perfectly, it spawns, you take it, it spawns, you take it. You don't have to wait for the Grump. I mean, he's slow, but not that slow. Very good use of the early gank, no kills, but it's an impactful gank, and it can win a lane very, very easily. I should swap these. It can win a lane very, very easily. So understand in those situations how valuable it is for you to do that as a farming jungler, because the goal, remember, is 6. So if you get to soak some minion XP and you get a kill, you know, you could be 6 very, very soon. Good things would have had to happen for you to be 6 now, because obviously since the XP nerfs, but we know that these dudes, if nothing weird had happened, will be 6 on the 530 wave, as we see with the Victor. And now obviously we've picked a lane that shall submit to the Thigh life, or Dragon life, I should say, if I want to stay monetized. Level 6, level 5, obviously he can just do that, which is what makes it so fun to play against. Talon also commits to sequencing life down to the bottom lane, hits his tower, we're forced to flash the stun, good job Karma, shows up, rakes for a slow, misses, we get the top RNG crab, which is absolutely huge, as you see from the experience bar, boom. Not quite 6, but enough. Kayn is now forced to roam, because again, he's just absolutely piss chilling in the top lane. Victor's 6 moving here, I don't know why the Kayn is he staying for this? No, oh, okay. Because we saw you, guy. We saw you. Now, we're not quite 6, and this is a sucky part about not really getting a kill or a bit of a push. You're not 6, whereas you normally would be. You know? It's a bit dry. Well, my throat's dry, but the jungle experience is a little dry as well. Now, Karma, with that wave in that position, thanks to the Talon gank, again, no kill, but it has an impact. So people focus way too much on kills. Way too much on kills when you're farming jungle. It's not about that. It's about the sequencing. It's about the art of sequencing and making sure that you use that level 6 spike appropriately and, as I said, righteously. So we're going to take this. We will be 6 now. Now we look. He always does this as a classic thing, ever since that season 9 to season 10 transition. I don't know why bottom lane is so disrespecting that. I don't know why they're disrespecting that. They should not be disrespecting it at all. Like, obviously, Gurren is challenger. It's a bit of a mixed match game. I just kind of average it out to Grandmaster. It could be some Master, it could be some D1, who knows. But that's a very disrespectful push by the blue team, knowing that SHYVANA's sequencing up and that Talon's sequencing down. And now once they've all reset, guess where they're gonna be. Always get 6, you look to use your ult if you can. If you're Nocturne here, 100% same thing. If you're Evelyn, 100% the same thing. Push, kill, conversion, ratio. We will take. Thank you very much. Talon's already sequencing, now he hits 7. And my friends, that's why that stupid champion is being destroyed, okay? Because he needs to have some down, like that E and the ganking is so insane. He doesn't need flash, he has a combat sum. He should not be able to match a SHYVANA in farming. We all agree on that. Let me know in the comments. If you don't agree on it, I don't know. You're only allowed to eat juice for a week. Unbelievable. But it's good. That will change the meta drastically. I'll do best junglers that will cover it. So again, Dragon, kills, resequence. We are about the life. It's honest, simple, it's efficient. It's a good skin, nice braids, looks good. Make sure you have a good skin when you're farming jungle. It's a really underrated tip. Because you spend so much time looking at yourself, obviously you should be F-king and clicking on the minimap, but who really cares about these minions because you're the carry, you're gonna scale. Make sure you have a nice skin to look at when you're farming. Makes things a lot better. You look at the particles a lot, you're like, you know what, this is enjoyable. So at least you're getting some fun. Now, you could look in this situation to just take this Herald. Please understand that there is an inherent risk based on wards, but I always like to, when you're red side jungle, doesn't matter if you're farming or ganking, hop on over, gently and in a nice way, touch them in the eye and make sure you secure it, as I said in the Sejuani video. Talon, again, lane gank, just like the last video that you would have watched from Sejuani. Now here's the bait. Cheeky. Now here's the bait. Is he staying or is he leaving? Let's check the lottery. He's staying. I didn't know that. I haven't seen this video. I'm just watching it. But that's the bait here. From the bottom lane's perspective, and I, of course, as I always say, play Lot Desire. Like, do I walk up? Is he still there? Or did he go back to base? And there you go. Mind games. Mind games. Mind games. So she takes a Herald, and now we can crash top side because we know Talon is most likely either resetting or staying in the bottom lane. Once we see him 100% bottom lane there, we can fully commit to this. The E doesn't hit, but obviously it's Kayn, so he's going to just exist perpetually outside the realms of, you know, physics. Set uses his W for a bit of tanking, and the E explodes him thusly. Now, of course, we can full on elevate the game state. We could, in theory, take this whole thing you and the Set can now perma roam. That is an option for you, okay? The Talon, what I was gonna say is if you get detected on a lane gank there in that situation, it's actually kind of good to wait, because the assumption is, right? What's the assumption? They saw me, so they will assume I'll go back to base because I know that they saw me, and so that's what I'm gonna do. But don't. If you wait now, the enemy team says, well, he knows that we saw him, right? So he's not gonna sit there and wait, right? He will go eventually back to base, but you don't, you just wait. You just wait, because you farm so quickly. Basically, you go from Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, Krugs, so damn fast that you can afford to wait a bit of time here and invest, right? Because you still have a lot of time, 2 minutes 15 before you have to go back to base and get that Gromp or focus on an objective. That's why. That's why Talon's dangerous, and that's why any jungler in his state is dangerous. And that's why Season 9 was dangerous for mental, for laners, because 2 minute 30 timers, catch-up experience, so we would literally just sit in the bush for 30, 60 seconds. The good days. Red side, gank mid, take top crab, gank top. Sorry, you couldn't take crab yet, so gank mid, gank top, take crab, gank mid again, take bottom crab, reset, take your red side again, repeat the process, and maybe you take your blue side like 10 minutes. You shouldn't need it. Who cares? Fun times. So from base here, we obviously go to the bottom side. We want to make sure we get our ult as, well, up again as soon as possible. This is now an interesting proposition. The Talon has been sequencing top to bottom, yeah? Which means this. Okay, I didn't get to finish my point, because I obviously haven't seen it. So the point was, if Talon is sequencing top to bottom, and you spend a bit of time taking a tower, and he got 2 kills bottom and reset, he is going to have the advantage on you in terms of sequencing. So he will do his Gromp down before you can do your Gromp top to make it an opposite play. So what you do is, in that situation, you got 5 plates from the top side, you got an Ashes Tooth completed, very well played. What you do is, you say, I know Talon's going to be in the bottom lane while I'm still finishing blue quadrant, so you cut the map. You do Gromp Wolves, or Wolves Gromp, basically, is the idea, and you just sequence for a lane gank and a counter gank, because you know the dude's going to show up based upon his sequencing. And as you can see, look at this. Look at the payoff from this pathing. Look at the payoff. It's brilliant. You spent so much time here that you know he's going to reset and be able to do all of this again and gank bot lane. So in that time, you say, right, I'm going to go down, I'll do Wolves Gromp, and then just counter gank at the lane gank, because I know he's going to be here. And you can just infinitely capitalize. Right there, that's a game-winning play. This is going in a video on YouTube, because we need to talk about this on the main channel. I have another example from coaching where these plays are not made by people in a variety of elos. They would keep sequencing or miss the opportunity to redirect themselves. So when you're farming jungle and you're usually sequencing in one direction like that the whole time, don't. Always think about when you need to reverse the other direction. What's the enemy jungler doing? How can I cut them off? Because basically you've just been doing opposites. First jungler to make that move, cut the map, it's calling. Well, I call it that. That's, you win the game from that. Now obviously blow's up, dragon is up. We are SHYVANA, we get innate scaling from dragons because of a passive. Not very interactive, is it? But it is what it is. Rusty Boy is MIA at this stage. Talon is most likely here. Victor's mid, but basically from the blue team backing off, you know that they're not going to contest it, so we just pull it out and we can secure it. There's Ross top lane, so we have that safety as well. Control warded. Scan for vision. Use your Q to make sure you can fist it very quickly. We have a Lulu plus full stack Fury. Dragon's Rage. And ult away to safety. How many times would you just ult in and die? So this was an aggressive play. It was an aggressive move, especially after the dragon. And one could argue, perhaps, once we hit this, we should leave. Again, results based a little bit if you're making that decision executively, like now. If you're always going to go for this play, I kind of like it, but you do have to understand that this map is dark. So there's always a risk when you watch mid lane of rotations. Just keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. But ideally, we are looking for a play. So, if, you know, like Talon's top side or Victor's dead, that's free. You can 100% do that. Ooh, Set showed up. Hello, sir. Thank you very much. You can kill that. Clean up. Misses the E. Doesn't really matter. Gets ignited. Ignores it. Ross has also showed up. 2 levels down. But he is Rossed. It's a really fed Set, but it's a very tough team to get into. That rake slow from Talon is obscene. In the meantime, SHYVANA's respawned. And again, don't go to the top side because our highest tier camps on the map are the Wolves and the Gromp. Hello. Good. Don't chase it, Victor. Just, it's not really worth the time if you don't have ult. Oof, difficult champion to face. Okay, so Rost is dying. Set is tanking. So if you are not needed here, feel free to catch a wave, my friends. Feel free to catch a wave and push it. Very, very good for farming junglers in this situation. Talon shows up to hold. That's fine. We force the rotation. Excellent. There's a top crab we can take. We're kind of close to 11. Very, very close to 11. In fact, we leave deep control ward. We know that he knows that we're going for the crab. So we watch him. Is he going to shut top lane or go for his Gromp? We don't know yet. Could he come for this? So we smite it and quickly take it. Very good. Now we want to see what's going on. He is in fact doing the Gromp, so we're pushing the map into the jungle. Understand that Victor will be showing up. And because we did that, again, we see this as well. Okay, Victor with the disrespect. We do kind of want to be 11 here. Minions? Nah. SHYVANA had to kill the minions for us to be 11. Unlucky. SHYVANA, sorry. If Riven just hit the 2 minions, we get 11. And you get the benefit, as I always talk about. The passive fury gain would go up. Actually, not really. This is a bonus health, really. It's just a bonus health in the flight damage, but it's always good in principle, especially as an Evelyn or Karthus. Kindred too, by the way. Kindred, that's a huge reduction in your ultimates. If you're level 10, you're like 1 minion, try and get it before the fight, because if you use it, and you're like 15 or 10, it's a huge reduction in your cooldown for the next fight, you know? And it's a game-changing ultimate, but yeah. Hello, Talon. Ghost blading. Gaming. Trapped. Lulut. Yes. Die. Good. But good rotation by SHYVANA. Good rotation by SHYVANA. Just in case. Just in case. Just in case. That's it. You're just saying, right, I'm here if necessary. Let's E those Krugs and latch them onto ourselves. They're pushing mid lane. So in this situation, because Talon's dead, it's fine, but you do want to be careful if everyone's up and you've basically sequenced to here. Your mid lane, now your bot lane who's now mid lane, could be collapsed on, especially if you see no one else in the blue team. So pay attention to this in your mid to low elo games, because very often you go farming, you go back to base, you carry on farming, and they just 5v2, take the tower. It's not good. So be aware of where the enemy team is and decide if you need to shadow to be present, or if you do in fact have the permission to go farming the stones. And see here, we're shadowing mid lane because of that. See that? Talon was dead, so wait time for Krugs. Now we go into dragon form to zone with the pool of disease. Activate the Herald. This is just to bust open the mid lane. Okay, we're forced to flash the Karma route. Not the best. Ludens versus Squishy. Very interesting. Ludens is very underrated. Ludens is very, very underrated. I like to build it on Zyra, obviously against Squishies, and it's great on Karthus against Squishies as well. In this situation, right, we can probably go Shadow Flame. 99% we want to go Shadow Flame. So the penetration from Ludens and Shadow Flame with Nash's Tooth is absolutely crazy against a team that doesn't have any real tank, you see? And specifically, it's good because obviously you have the, you're going to have the Eclipse Talon, which is, it's minute, but it's more the Karma. And obviously Victor. So you're getting a lot of shields in the game that Shadow Flame will help you against. And at the same time, they're all squishy. So you're just getting, might as well go Ludens to get penetration plus Shadow Flame. And it's just a huge amount of raw damage mathematically. I talked about it on the Karthus video as well, on the main channel. Once more, onto the Fury, spam E. We're getting there, we'll get there. We'll get there, okay, okay, okay. When your fed top laner is more interested in doing setups while he's doing gray screen. Okay, just make... Was pinged, but pull it out. Pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Unfortunate, but it's a Victor Karma, so no one's surprised. Either way, sucks. It is what it is. We give them a bounty for free and set dies for free. Doesn't really matter. Once more, 2 people mid lane trying to do stuff. You have to be aware that the Talon can do all kinds of cool, hilarious things that would have done very well 10 years ago on early social media. But now, of course, we've grown up a little bit. Full sequence, cut here. Don't go to Krugs because you anticipate something might be happening. Make sure, you know, maybe there's a crab there we can take, maybe not. She's going back in a ward. So again, this is the shadowing. Farming and shadowing the whole time. You see how I'm looking at the minimap all the time. watching where your bot lane is, watching where people are going to be. Talon was just sitting in the bush there. Actually, I was looking at the minimap making a point. Talon was sitting in the bush. He's going parkour, baby. Seth says no. Okay, let's watch that again because I actually literally looked away. So Talon's looking to do some trap setting. Does so thusly. We again ult to safety to gain distance. So we get a lot of HP. We can use our E to chase down. Now Seth shows up for the ult and bonks. We get a little ulted and you can just obviously hit another E point blank. Well done. Set E hits on the Ross, who's going to go back line. Oh no. Oh dear. That's unfortunate. Shame. Died when Ross was inside. He is lonely in Cosmos. Riven's now flanking. Thank you very much. Again, SHYVANA from the back line until you become human again, so you're kind of useless. But that's fine. Your damage is done. Victor's forced to flash. Well played by everyone. Well played by everyone. Very nice. But you see the SHYVANA. When you're AD and Bruiser, you can just ult the dude and perma spin and you can survive and you do a lot of damage. You can spike at those two items. AP, you need a few more to really get that damage going. But if you're out of position, ult to a place where you can actually do stuff based upon your build. Too often, people don't do that. They just ult in front of the Talon thinking, I will survive, and then they don't. So, hey. Okay. Well, that sucks. Either way, what do we have? We had a lot of gold. So we're going through the Shadow Flame. The build path is great, by the way. Get a Needless. Instead of having to wait for another Needless, you can still get an Amp Tome. Now, Ross is top lane splitting narcissistically. We have the... Oh, as he would, because he's Ross, a character. Actually, that makes sense a little bit. Yeah, it does. Riven's at the bottom lane with the set, so we can observe where are people. In this situation, we kind of want to watch for the flank here. So Lulu's going to move into ward. She does have to be careful. We see there Victor's kind of slow going back. Talon's looking for the flank. Good vision control is very important. We see the Ross coming as well. So now you can barrel forward knowing that they've got two behind, two bot. Okay? So we can push forward. So the guy who asked me in chat, I'm an assassin and I died, it's because you do that. Why are you doing that? You cannot do that versus that team comp. Do not... All assassins who get fed or even have an angle, they just literally sprint around. Here we go. Kamikaze's question as well. Can we end the game? 24 seconds on Talon. Can we take Nexus turrets? But they do scale. We need to be cautious. We don't want to tank too much. Ross is in the back line. Victor's surviving. Ross is thriving. Jinx is respawning. She's zapping. AoE rockets are what do they do? Blowing. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Don't push it. See, perfect example. Play it safe. Yeah, you have Baron. Yeah, you could maybe try and end. But it's a Victor. It's a Jinx. You don't want to give them shutdowns. Pull back for the safe play. Exactly what we were just talking about on stream. So you can join us on Twitch for those little cool sequences if you like. But either way, if you don't, that's fine. Thank you for watching the YouTube channel. Really good example of restraint in that scenario. So I'm actually glad that happened. Cool. Cool. A lot of things happening in this game, hilariously, that people were asking about before. Cool. I like it. In that case, as I said, in that example, you can fall back, take your Grump, take your Wolves. In this case, that's exactly what Agurin does. That's what SHYVANA does, because we have time. We can go and get 1,400 gold, which allows us to finish the Shadow Flame, okay, and get a control ward. So in that situation, pull back, take some of their camps if they're up, take your camps if they're up, spend on a crucial itemization spike, and now rejoin the map. And of course, because we've got 2 dragons, we should have 3. So this should be soul point. So again, people always ask, should I get the soul? Now your win rate does go up for the soul, but at the same time, do you need the soul to win the game here? Not at all. Not at all. It helps you, but don't feel the need to force a fight and die for it, okay? If you can get it and close before Elder, do so. But again, they do scale. You know, it is a Jinx, it is a Victor, that is... So, as I was saying, Ludens plus Shadow Flame. That's 1 dead boy. Not a lot of damage there, but... Woo! It's a lot of damage when SHYVANA gets 3 items, I tell you that much. Now we catch the bottom wave, we do have this, so... Here, you see, this is a good example. We talked about this... Whoa! Didn't hit anyone. We talked about this as well. You can do the dragon, but you don't need to. But if you just want to push, because they have 1 dead, and they can't really force themselves across the map, you can just push this, your ADC can do it, it's fine. Victor sets a trap, but you see, this is what I'm talking about. He sets a trap, right? It's a cheese play, but he almost literally kills the SHYVANA. And if Lulu doesn't show up, maybe he actually does just kill the SHYVANA, right? So now we have Soul, hypothetically, okay? But SHYVANA's forced to go back, to retreat, to leave. Lulu's low. Again, now you're wasting time. You're giving them supers. Set a split pushing mid lane. He can die here as well. Lulu's dead. Okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about, why it can be risky. It's a good play, obviously. That's what we want. But again, we can't do anything. So we've got an open inhib, and Talon's just going to farm it. Jinx is going to kill Sat, shut him down gold. It's exactly everything I always talk about that can happen in these games that can make them go so horribly wrong. If you're the jungler in the situation, you can do nothing about that. Obviously, the Victor makes a play there. Just fall back, take your blue, take their cams, control the map as you can. If someone overpushes like this, you say, hello, goodbye, good night, you die. Talon shows up, you say, lol, 2-level lead, thank you very much. Catch this wave and push it. Farming junglers, this is how you infuse yourself. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. And you can do it on anyone, really. If you farm fast, you can do it. Scanning. Rost shows. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? We are still a little bit... so much. Riven's taking the crab. That's unfortunate, but it's fine because we have a spike, 3-item spike. And again, you don't need 5 items to win games, guys. There's 2-item spikes, there's 3-item spikes. Hello, Talon. What up? Down 3 levels. Mr. E. Unfortunate, we need that. But we can just... I love seeing Talon die. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. Top wave, we kind of wanted to catch that, but at this point we do have Caitlyn bot side, so we can shove this out and probably join the Caitlyn. There's a Baron spawning. If it's within a decent amount of time, what you can do is cut through here and try and push this inhib. And fall back to the Baron, but of course if you do that, then that opens the window for them to do it, so you do have to play it accordingly. They are going to chase and try... Oh, it's MV Carry. I'm an idiot. I didn't read the name. My bad. They're caught out. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Should you maybe try and end the game on that first Nexus push? No, because you definitely can't do it. It's too coin flip. The variance issue here is when everyone just gets trapped bottom lane, you know? So what do we do as a jungler when our team does that? Just join the split pusher, join someone, create pressure somewhere else, force them to not be able to take the Baron, which is all we really want, and make sure you get out. Make sure you get out. That's the most important thing here. Woo, we got some macro right now. Well, not macro, just, I guess a poker game. It's a kind of a poker game, isn't it? Patience. Patience is all it is. Okay, yeah, let's duo the Baron. When we can go back and buy a Banshee's Veil, which is absolutely huge against the Victor. That's the damage you're dealing with, right? That's the MV carry burst is the issue. Jinx is mid lane. We've warded up, sets bottom lane here. We do have a Prestige Teleport active. Riven is level 15. MV carry is now 16, so full spikes activation. We ult against the wall. Oh, that is a huge amount of SHYVANA damage to try and save the Riven, but she dies anyway. Set now can keep pushing, and keep zoning. They cannot do this Baron with SHYVANA poke. This is a huge thing, right? You just keep poking. You're not looking to necessarily stop anything. He can either keep pushing or he can turn. He TP's in and gets trapped. Cool. He could have just kept pushing. Could have just kept pushing for a tower. Okay. Not a good TP. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in theory, if we had not lost that 4th dragon, and this was an Elder spawning, look at the dragon that's about to arrive. All of a sudden, you've got a coin flip. Do we take the Baron and fall back down to the Elder, or do we reset, spend the gold we just got from that fight, and not go fight over an Elder? But we're a Jinx, MV carry, Victor juiced to the max versus an Agurin juiced SHYVANA. Now, because it's not a soul point, it's actually very good because it's a much easier trade. We will take said Baron, thank you very much, while you guys reset, and we will give you the dragon. So the fact that it's not a soul point makes this a very, very, very easy decision. You can just give him that Drake. Who cares? We get a Baron with an open inhib. Whereas if it's an Elder, you cannot make this decision because you need to be able to secure the Elder Dragon, right? And the blue team understands that as well. And Rastan doesn't understand anything. He probably thinks his name's Shadow Assassin at this point. Lot of damage. Whoa. Okay, yeah, beautiful, good flash. There you go. This is how you solo carry a game, by the way. Good ult by Caitlyn. This is how you solo carry a game. So that could have gone way differently. The seconds don't always line up necessarily 100%. Could have gone way differently if that was an Elder Dragon. So it's a good point. You know, it's a good point to think about. I'm not giving you like a correct ultimatum every way, but it is something you need to think about. Okay, we have to smite that. Talon's gonna go in anyway. He does have Eclipse with a lifesteal. Now we have Soul. Now we have Baron. Now we have a substantial lead. We're gonna go and spend 2,000 gold. We should have no issue. Good job, Set. Prestige TP pretty big, and obviously just running it down there with the... Wait, he doesn't have it. He does have it. With Baron. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Rinse this, because your team isn't on the map, so there's no point pushing. Might as well clear your camps, go back to base, buy a needlessly large rod. If you can afford an elixir of sorcery, please do buy it. People are forgetting to buy it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, because we didn't have Soul, and because we now do, and because we have Baron, and because we are basically as fed as we're going to be in this game, it's time to end. This is a really, really good farming jungle game, but also very, very good in terms of objective focus. I like that that damage did nothing to Victor. It's just nothing. Talon, stop doing it. It's not working, man. It's not working. Gold players know that it's not working. Where's your boy? So Caitlyn does some work as well. Talon, who knows? And yeah, there you go. There's nothing educational about how that one ended, other than stats that I have, if they're more than stats that you have, equals I win the fight. But there you have it. Farming jungle, bit of macro, bit of debate about when it's okay to have a soul, when it's not, understanding about over pushing, a lot of great things in there. Take those to any of your elos, and it's really high valuable stuff, and obviously really valuable for Clash and Flex 5. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you were able to enjoy and learn something. I am having a jungle bootcamp some point in February, so be on the lookout for ticket sales. This will probably go out on Friday, so yeah, look forward to that as well. Appreciate you all. See you all in the next tutorial.